Hello everyone. Welcome to the second lesson of our SwiftUI e-commerce app. In this lesson, we are going to learn about how to make this carousel view using lazy edge stack and scroll view. So first of all, let's look at the requirements. We have a card view. In this card view, we have a text, image, and then again two text. So center text, the first text is center aligned. The rest of the two texts are leading aligned. Next, we have different cards. There are two important things in this carousel view to be noted. That first thing is that there is a scale effect on the card which is being focused. Like if you see this card, there is a transition between two cards. The one which is focused has a scale effect of 1, whereas other has a scale effect of 0.6 or 8. Next, we have opacity. If you look closely, this card is dimmer than this card. Why? Because we need to show that we are focused on the first card. So the card which is being focused will have opacity of 1 and scale effect of 1, whereas the card which is not being focused will have less opacity and less scale effect. So let's start with creating our card view. So first of all, for a card view, let's remove this home and let's start creating a card view. So let's start. So first, let's remove this home and let's create a card view at the place of this home text. For the card view, we will be needing a struct which will be denoting text and images. So let's create a struct with the product, and in this product we will be having ID, name, price, and image name. So next, let's create a Z stack, a rounded rectangle. Why rounded rectangle? Because for a card we saw that we have a background. So let's add a background using a Z stack. Now let's wait for a second and see we have achieved a background to our card view. We have added rounded rectangle with a corner radius of 24, and we have filled this rounded rectangle with a respective color. Next, we have given a frame width and height that we need for our card view, and we have added a shadow effect to make it look more appealing. Next, we need to add a text, image, and then again to text. For that, we will be needing a VStack. So let's introduce a VStack, and in that VStack, let's say first alignment is center and with a spacing of 20. Let's add a text. So now we have a controller text, but as we can see that it's written in black. Now let's add its styling. After adding some styling, it looks more better. Now next we need to add an image that we have in our asset file. For my case, image name is IC controller, and let's make it resizable and frame 200 by height 120. You can change height and width as per your requirement. Next we have a text, and for the text we will be needing another VStack. Why? Because for that we need text to be aligned at the leading. So let's see, like it's aligned to the leading, not to the center. Next we are going to add another text which will be a description bit, and let's add a style to it. So here we have created our card view, product card view, that we will be using for in our carousel view. So let's start with our carousel view. To make it look more clean, we can create a new file of a card view, or we can create a new struct. So let's create a new struct named card view. And in this card view, we are going to add the code that we have for our card view. So if we look at the card view, we have added the same code that we had written above. And now we are going to use card view instead of using the whole code. Instead of writing each and every word in our main view, we can create new struct for our card view. So here we have a card view. So we have created a new struct and we have called that struct at the place of home. Now we have a single card view. In order to make a carousel view, we need multiple card views aligned in a edge stack and a scroll view. So let's create a scroll view first, which will be horizontal. And in that scroll view, we are going to create lazy edge stack with a spacing of 16, so that the card views have spacing of 16 between different card views. Now, after adding a lazy edge stack, let's add the number of card views that we want. So for that, we will be using loop for each, And in that for each, we are going to add our card view. After adding a card view, let's see if we have achieved our carousel view. We have achieved our scroll view with a lazy hashtag, but we haven't achieved our carousel view. To achieve our carousel view, we will be needing some style. So first of all, let's give a padding.horizontal to make it look much better. Now you can see that it's not stick to our leading. So now let's add a transition effect. For that, we need a scroll transition. So let's create a scroll transition with an axis horizontal in which we have content and face. So these all are content which are seen on the screen. Now we will be adding opacity, and these opacity will be based on face.isIdentity. So isIdentity face is doing what? That it is telling that this card is being focused, and we will be controlling its opacity by looking at whether this is being focused or not. So we have one opacity, another we have scale effect. So now we have added opacity and scale effect based on face.isIdentity. So right now our control first card is being focused. So now we have used face.isIdentity to toggle its opacity. So now if I see, it is working fine, but one thing is still missing, that it's not moving one by one. It's just moving the way a scroll view works. So let's add and make it proper carousel view by adding a scroll target behavior. So now we are going to add a scroll target behavior with a view.aligned. Now what's going to happen is that it will be moving with a view which is aligned. So if we have aligned with this view, this will be focused. So it will be focused one by one. So this is how we have achieved our carousel view. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for further lessons. Next lesson, we will be discussing on how we can add a different views to our different tab views.